right, everybody, a warm welcome to the Next Gen stage, where now we're going to run the third session of presentations today. We started early this morning, already providing the stage for 14 student teams. Then we had 13 early stage startups, and now we have the final 13 student teams that are going to be pitching and presenting their solutions here on the stage for the next 1.5 hours. My name is Marie, and I, on a daily basis, work at the Technical University of Denmark at a place called DTU Skylab, where we are designing and co-creating together with a number of partners opportunities for not only our students and startups to work on real-life challenges together with external partners focusing on accelerating sustainable solutions, but we also very much like to work with international partners to broaden our perspectives on what are the challenges that are out there to be solved, how can we provide new types of education for our young students and researchers and entrepreneurs, and how can we also learn from technologies and great ideas that are happening in other places like Denmark. So this is shaped by a program called Next Generation. Now we have a focus on the built environment, the inclusive environment, and that we're doing because for the last 3 years we have basically been co-designing this program called Next Generation City Action together with the UIACph23 Congress to provide opportunities for university students and early stage startups to also bring their perspectives, solutions and new ideas to the conversations and the network and the opportunities that such a global stage can provide. So today is an accumulation of a long journey that started 1st of June, where we onboarded selected startups and student teams to work on real-life challenges together with international partners to shape new ideas. We also ran a startup accelerator program where we had a number of startups that were not developing new ideas, but they were trying to further scope and develop opportunities into this Congress, but also have a focus on the fundamental principle of how can we make sure that we leave no one behind in the solutions that we're putting out into society. We're not doing this alone. We're doing this thanks to the support and partnership by a number of foundations and organizations and international universities that have helped us provide the full scholarships for all these young people to be present here at the Congress now, but also be involved in a learning journey from the 1st of June in a hybrid summer course that we were running. We work with a number of different universities around the world. For us, the conversations we have here today and as part of the Congress, we need to have a holistic, interdisciplinary perspective, not only across generations, across nationalities, but also involving engineering students, students of creative backgrounds and social backgrounds and business backgrounds to really look at the solutions that we need to bring out into society going forward. So here they are. We have a full delegation here at the Congress that arrived last week, Wednesday, of 125 young people. They represent 8 strategic countries that for us has also been very important that we are opening up for diversity in terms of where we're learning from solutions, what are the challenges that we're working with. And we're really, really happy to have all of them present here. Now you're going to actually get the opportunity to listen to some of these projects that they've been working on. Now is the third session, and I would really encourage you to stay tuned after this session. We are today also scoring and providing feedback to the teams. Some of the teams will win the opportunity to partake in a big international P4G summit that runs and takes place in Bogota, Colombia in September. Others will be awarded acceleration grants to continue developing their prototypes and ideas, and others will be acknowledged for the great work that they have been doing in this process. So I hope that you will be with us for the next 1.5 hours, but also the celebration and the announcement of the winners afterwards. to help me today to qualify and give feedback to all the teams that are lining up ready, I'm also really excited and humbled to invite a very international panel with us today that will provide questions and feedback and scoring to the teams. So we have Jay Bhagwan from the Water Research Commission in South Africa. We have Chiara Frattini from DTU Sustain, so a colleague of mine. We have Philip Pedersen from the Environmental Protection Agency. We have Nanda Kumar from the International Center for Clean Water in India. And then we have Maxwell from Ghana Water Company. So when we're focusing on sustainable water solutions, we're really, really happy and honored to have you here today. And I hope you're going to be kind to the teams. A lot of these student teams, it's a very first experience to be presenting on a stage like this today. So I hope that all of you are also going to be kind to them and provide the energy that we need in the room to really encourage their work further, but also the projects that they have been working on. For only 4 weeks have they been spending on turning challenges into opportunities. So we're going to start with the first student team. They have actually been working with a Indian-based green strategic partnership that's connecting Denmark and India around green transition, together with an Indian stakeholder, NITI Aayog, the Ministry of Environment of Denmark, and Innovation Center Denmark, that has defined a challenge that they have been working with for these 3 weeks. To welcome on this stage, they have 3 minutes to do their presentation, then we do 2 minutes Q&A, and then we have the next team coming up here. So it's a fairly rapid process. We are going to have my colleague Mao being the timekeeper, so when there's 15 seconds left, she's going to raise her hand, just indicating that time is almost up, and then we have a little bell to indicate when time is up. So yeah, we're going to run that process going forward. But welcome everybody, and please also welcome the first team from Denmark, from DTU. Please give a big hand.
Thank you. India contains roughly a sixth of the world's population. However, it has a much smaller surface area for it to rain on, so naturally it is facing an increasingly large amount of water stress. Simultaneously, many places in India does not contain proper sanitation systems, which forces a lot of people to openly defecate, and that spreads dangerous pathogens to various water systems. We are engineering students, Pradamesh and Carl from DTU, and we believe that these two problems have solutions that can synergize with each other in a way that helps the average rural citizen.
So, as Carl discussed, we are focusing on the area in India that is Sulur city, which is coming from Tamil Nadu state. So, in this city, the major problem is the Noyal River is carrying major amount of sanitation and sludge from Coimbatore city, and people are using irrigation as their major source of income, and they are using lot of groundwater. So the surface water is really contaminated. So for this, we have proposed an idea. What we are proposing is decentralized sewage treatment plant, which will be there at a strategic locations. From this sewage treatment plant, we are also going to generate revenue. So we are not only just putting it to help water crisis, but we are also generating revenue. Revenue will be generated by two sources. We are going to generate manure and fertilizer, and also we are going to sell the treated water to the industries. Now, these industries will be the textile industries, which are majorly in this part of region. So these industries needs a lot of water, and we can sell them water. So by generating the revenue from this model, we can use this revenue for making Sulur Lake more habitable and cleaning this lake. We can also add some recreational areas in that Sulur Lake, which can be in this way. We can also add like harbor baths, which are here in Copenhagen. In the same Sulur Lake, we can do fishing activities. We can even have kayaking and everything, which will increase the habitable nature of Sulur Lake. The people from this region can come here, even people from different region, Coimbatore and everything, they can come here for the weekend, spend their time, and this will make their lives prosperous. Also, I want to say that we can also include public participation and government participation by organizing an annual competition where we will have a best sustainable village. Thank you.
Wow, on the second, you had 2 seconds left, so fantastic, thanks a lot. So now we'll open up the mic for the jury panel here for questions, reflections, comments. Yeah, Nanda Kumar?
Yeah, thank you for that quick presentation and information. You talked about decentralized sewage handling systems. Have you looked at what kind of systems would be most suitable in India?
I'm not sure about most suitable, but our general idea is to use a combination of planted drying beds and constructed wetlands for either solid or fluid sewage, because they require a low amount of technical expertise to maintain, and the biggest problem is that they require a lot of space to operate, but they should be safe enough for the stuff we need of manure and irrigation water, and like water to sell.
Yeah, Chiara?
How is the level of conceptualization? Because you show the you know, like the composition, but I mean, in relation to the case studies, have you located, I mean, from a planning perspective, have you located where would you, and what are the right combination for that specific case? Because, you know what I mean?
No, we haven't really figured out the location. The location came very late in the process. We have figured out how much space we would need to treat all of the citizens in Sulur, and that should be about 20 hectares of space for treatment with our system.
Different scenarios by combining different elements. That's how it is? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we probably could, but we haven't gone too much into depth with the spacing.
All right. Any other reflections, comments? Otherwise, let's just give a very very big applause to the Danish team for presenting here. Thank you very much. And from Denmark, we go all the way to Mexico, where we have also involved in the same challenge a student team to provide their perspective on exactly the same challenge, but with a very different outcome. So please welcome them on stage, the Relab. Oh, the other way, yeah.
We all need water. The World Bank states that for many villages, especially for women in India, it takes traveling up to 1.6 kilometers repeatedly throughout the day to get to a water source. This means 3 main problems: big efforts to get to the water source, the water of uncertain quality, and limited availability. Although rural landscapes have been historically known for being able to solve managing limited resources, climate change and the increasing water crisis have made it obvious that we need a systemic approach to solve problems such as giving water to all. So our proposal is centered around supplying water, but only building a communal system of public spaces that can make community integrate and solve this problematic.
Our proposal uses a self-operating water pump system that gets the results closer to the people, but also at the same time designs a modular pavilion that combines water harvesting with multifunctional spaces. Using this pavilion to create a surrounding area destined to scholar and educational programs, leisure activities, and shelter spaces in order to create a better way to fulfill the social needs of the community. The design of these pavilions were thought and designed as an adaptive and scalable structure that adapts to the vernacular knowledge and building systems of the community. This particular device allows us not only to maintain water clean and storage, but also is designed for people to know and understand how the whole system is working and watch with their own eyes the resource being obtained as well as the beautiful surroundings of the landscape.
And to make this project, the feasibility of this project, this is a scalable project. It could be one or more depending on the social needs. So it could be, the idea is to preserve the rural heritage, but giving better quality of life. The other idea is to stop the forced migration to the cities and create a catalyst for the community integration. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was literally on the second, so congrats. Questions and comments from the panel? Yeah, Philip.
Very beautiful design, a very interesting idea. I think in the pitch you also mentioned the tourist part of this, that people couldn't come from the outside. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes. The idea is to make the multifunctional space. It could be for educational space, recreational space, and we work in the Uttarakhand in India, in the slopes of the Himalayas, so they can stop over there to make an impulse for the rural area to gastronomic tourism or something to preserve this rural culture.
Yeah, Jay.
So one of the catchy aspects in your presentation was self-operational. And can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, it's a system that uses the different heights of the terrain to gain enough pressure for the water to flow. It's kind of a chamber full of air that fills with water and gets sealed onto a certain pressure, but when the pressure is overwhelmed, it pushes the water through pipelines. So the amount of water that gets pushed is not that much, but because of the constant flow of the river, it's always constantly pushing more and more water. So that's the way we are moving the water from one point to another point in a much high altitude without any electricity or another person to operate the system.
All right, thanks a lot. So I think in respect of time, we will keep it to that. Please give a huge applause again to the team and just look at their prototype that they managed to get all the way here. Really well done. So now we go, exactly the same challenge, but hearing the perspectives from our student team from South Africa. Please give them a huge applause and welcome.
Good day to one and all. My name is Londiwe Zikona Ngomane, and I am joined by Sinovuyo Krai and Siyasanda Qaba, and we'll be presenting on the topic of integrated and inclusive water resource management. April of 2022, South Africa was faced with floods that not only destroyed homes, but also destroyed businesses and agricultural areas. But that was just a drop in the ocean compared to all the disasters that occurred throughout the world. Take, for instance, a small village in India, which is agricultural based, called Kakat, which is in the Jharkhand district, which faces approximately 1,300 millimeters of rainfall per annum. And because of pollution, this negatively affects the climate and global warming, which results to flooding. But during the summer season, they face dry areas for a period of 6 to 8 months, which results to them not being able to do their agricultural activities. But with the theme of leaving no one behind, we have come up with a solution that not only supplies water to these communities, but also includes young academics that will be part of implementation and maintenance of this solution. Our implementation involves us building dams in certain areas of this community, where we'll be having different channels located in different areas that will collect rainwater. This water will be stored in our storage tank or dam, which will be stored for a period of 6 to 8 months during the dry seasons. Since it will be stored for that period of time, it requires treatments prior to it being released to the communities. So our treatment method lies or moves away from chemical treatments and more into natural-based treatments. So we will be using bio-waste materials from the agricultural areas in the Kokot region, and we will convert that into biochars. After that, the biochar will be inserted in this area where coagulation will occur. When coagulation occurs, a sludge is formed, and this sludge settles to the bottom of the tank. The sludge will be released as fertilizer back to the agricultural areas, and then the clean water will go to the communities. So this is the proposed areas where we will put our tanks in Kokot. And these are the experimental runs using our bio-waste materials in the lab to see its efficiencies. With the aid of ATAL community research program, and also with the aid of disaster funds from India and leave-in programs, we'll be able to collect approximately 100,000 meter cubed of rainwater to help with this community, and that would eradicate floods. So let us not leave anyone behind. Let us take our solutions to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I love the energy here. Thanks a lot for a great presentation. Maxwell?
I just want a clarity on when you say 100,000 cubic meters, is that per year or per day? What?
Yes, that's per year, sir. That is per, yes, that's per year.
That's the collecting facility. How does it, is that tank the collecting facility, or you have a much bigger to collect the rainwater? Is that just a tank? Or, and have you thought about how that will apply in different contexts?
Okay. So when collecting our rainwater, we won't just be placing our channels. We won't just be placing channels in different areas in Kokot, but we'll be in different houses, but we will find places where are prone to floods. So that will collect more water, and that water will be stored in this tank or dam.
So the collection is somewhere else?
Yes,
okay.
And then this is the storage dam. Thank you.
Yes, Philip, final question. Yeah.
A quick question. Who will operate the schemes? Do you also involve the community in operating? Yeah.
As I said during my pitch, that this is not just a program where we will be operating, but we will take young academics from this village to be the one to actually help with the implementation and the maintenance of this facility.
All right.
Thanks
a lot. Please give a huge applause to the team from South Africa. And I mean, this Next Generation program is built on the platform of inspiring each other across countries, see what innovation comes up when we link university students from different backgrounds working on challenges somewhere else. But of course, also having a challenge that is situated and focusing on the context of India, we are also really, really excited to welcome not one, but actually two teams from India that will also give their perspectives on that. So first up is Yeti Squad. Please give them a huge applause.
Hello everyone. We are Team Yeti Squad working on WASH, that is water, sanitation and hygiene in popular tourist destinations, Gurudangbar in the Himalayas. So in every year the number of tourists are increasing in this region, and almost 600 to 700 tourists per daily visiting the Gurudangbar lake. So these tourists on the en route, they visited a place called Thangu village, where they stopped by for breakfast as well as for restroom uses. However, the area with the extreme climate conditions, the toilets are ill-maintained, the improper sanitation facilities contaminating our natural water bodies, that may reduce impact on our tourist perceptions and impact on the sustainable tourism and the livelihoods of the mountain communities, especially the women's, those who are directly managing the tourism business in the areas. So our objective is to wash Himalayas. So we have conceptualized our problems aligned with the 4 sub-themes of the challenge 1, and we resolve these problems in terms of circularity of solutions, which is problems into solutions and challenges into opportunities. So for further details, please visit our blog post for 4-dimensional of this problem solutions. So we look for the existing solutions for sustainable toilets. Ecoloo already have these solutions. They separate the solid waste and the liquid waste and produce a fertilizer out of it, while the P-Power produce electricity from the urines. So on the way it provides energy. So, and most importantly, these are very expensive. So why not to integrate both the technologies and get best out of this? So, and we have tried to integrate these technologies, and now we can see that the cost has reduced by 1/4, using the locally available materials, using the most affordable technologies, affordable methods to convert it into the energy and fertilizer for the agriculture areas nearby. And we also conducted stakeholder-based surveys, that is willingness to pay, and we have calculated that we can annually generate around $61,000, out of which 30% can be used to construct these toilets and 1% can be used for the maintenance of these toilets. So the team YETI Squad is not only a team, but a movement. So the objective of this team is to healthier, cleaner, and sustainable ecosystems of the Himalayan mountains areas. So join us with this movement called Wash Himalayas. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Great presentation. Keep that for a moment, yes, and let's give the mic to the panel. See if there is any questions, comments. Nanda Kumar?
So that's a great presentation and some novelty factor that I can see. How do you see the challenges of the people adopting something like this high tech that you're bringing to a remote place? Have you thought about how this is going to change the behavior of people, and how are you planning to handle that?
Well, as we have already conducted a stakeholder-based survey, so during that, this is a restricted area. The indigenous people, especially the old one, is very rigid. But we communicated with the youth. So youth mainly migrated out, and they came back to see that their place is generating more revenue than the outside. Now youth can collaborate and integrate with even outsider, the technologies they have acceptance, and they can think on it. So one hand is the communities, those who are managing the business. Another hand, the youths, those who are looking for sustainable tourism. And on the other side, there are we. And other side is technologies. These 4 dimensions, if we collaborate, then definitely it would have a more implementation level at community levels. By the communities, for the communities, we are there with the technologies.
Nice. Jay?
Just a question of clarity. Is the Ecoloo a dry toilet or is it a wet toilet?
Okay.
Ecoloo is a toilet that uses zero water. It can at the same time separate solid waste from liquid and convert it into fertilizer.
All right, Maxwell, final question.
So you mentioned that 1% of the revenue that you expected should be used for maintenance.
Yes.
Have you considered, what considerations did you give to skills in terms of the people who will actually do the maintenance of these systems?
So initially we're planning to have a pilot implementation of 15 units that we are in the process of R&D, and then with the existing fund, we have the fund to collaborate with the professionals and the experts from this field, and we have enough fund to facilitate these facilities.
Hello? Yes, I'm asking because you said that it's a very restricted area.
Yes.
So which means that professionals coming from outside the zone is a bit restricted.
Yes.
So is there any plan to say train people locally for them to, those sort of things?
So we have conducted the social evaluation. We are the social scientists. So there are technologies, but the local communities is very restricted. They are conservative. So there is a need to first make them understand that they need this kind of solution. Otherwise, their place of this touristic importance may face challenges in future. So our aim is to first make them understand, then bring in the technologies.
Yeah, means very small interventions. Yes, as already youths do understand, for sustainable tourism, they need to collaborate with the science and technologies. So this is what we are bringing with the youths. We have talked to the LTDC called Lachen Tourism Development Authority, run by the youth and the young peoples. Yeah, thank you.
All right, with those remarks, please give a warm applause, sending them off the stage. Thanks a lot for the presentation. And now we go for the last team that has been working with the strategic partnership between our two countries, India and Denmark, looking at inclusive water solutions. Please give a big applause to EcoLives from India as well.
Hello. Hello everyone, we are Team EcoLives from India. We are working on inclusive livelihoods through fisheries and ecotourism. In India, we have a saying that dams are the temples of modern India because they are meant for water security. But on the other hand, construction of the dams and reservoirs led to displacement of a lot of communities, which eventually led to loss of livelihood and poverty. In order to bring them out of poverty, people try to introduce fisheries in the reservoirs, but there are many constraints like the water level variation with the season in the reservoir and the cost involved in producing fish culture using cages. So the average fish yield in small reservoirs in India is approximately 1/10 of the potential fish yield, but this is due to open water fishing, which is very inefficient. So we propose full growth of fish in the cages and install more number of cages to scale up, and for which we need local hatcheries for providing adequate fish seed for running the cages. So we have to monitor the social, economic and environmental impacts that it would create in the ecosystem. So since fishing may not be sustainable for all the communities, and some communities may be out of the fishing, so in order to bring them into the picture, so we are introducing ecotourism, where recreational or sport fishing activities, boarding activities and some camping sites and homestays can be arranged. In order to implement this solution, so we need support from a lot of agencies like the government departments for technical approvals and some funding, and some donor agencies who can also aid in the funding, and our agency which would be monitoring and so designing the whole project, implementing it and monitoring it throughout the project tenure, and the NGOs who are properly working with the local self-help groups and local communities to mobilize them, and the market potential, which includes the fish markets and the tourists. So we have done some techno-economic analysis for introducing 200 cages in our study area, and we have calculated the operational expense, working capital and operating capital, and the revenue that could be generated from fisheries. We have also done the similar exercise for tourism as well. So we looked at what is the tourist activity around the vicinity, and even if 1% of the tourists can be attracted to the reservoir, about 100 days of tourist activity can be generated in the reservoir, so which would include more communities. And we have done some market analysis by floating a questionnaire, what is the spending potential of local people who can travel to these places. And so our solution would improve the income by at least 2 to 3 times, and more number of communities can be brought into the picture through fisheries and ecotourism. So we estimated that the project can be need $2.7 million for implementation, for which 50 to 60% can be availed from the government, and the rest from the donor agencies and other loans. Yeah, thank you.
All right, please give a big applause to the team EcoLives. And now we hand over the mic to the panel. Questions, reflections. Yeah, Philip, you first.
First of all, very, very good presentation. And also trying to quantify the numbers, very impressive. Okay, so 2 solutions. One is looking at more advanced fishery with cages. The other one looking at ecotourism. Have you considered how to combine the two, because, well, ecotourism is more like open fisheries, right? So
yes,
there's like a contrast.
Yes, so by legal requirements, open fishing will continue in the dam. We have to seed certain amount of fingerlings into the main dam, so that will continue. So ecotourism, angling-based fishing will happen there. Again, when we started speaking with the community, they said that since we're already putting up cages in this area for floating cages basically, so why cannot we put a floating hotel with this, restaurant with this? And that is something which also saw yesterday when we were walking around the town. And so yes, so one solution is also to add a floating restaurant around the cages where they can observe the cages close up. And always when you're angling, there is a chance that you will not catch anything, but they should be able to catch something surely in the cage. So we are mixing the two solutions together.
Yeah, Jay?
So did you model the negative impacts on the water quality through a higher activity of aquaculture in that?
We haven't done that yet ourselves, but government agencies have done some calculation and they say that is why up to 1% of the reservoir area is allowed for cage fishing. We cannot exceed that area to maintain the dilution of water is happening due to that extra fishing happening in a concentrated zone.
Yes,
Yeah,
in addition to aquaculture affecting the water quality, if you bring in ecotourism, that could also, and if you're building a hotel, you'll have to evaluate what kind of pollution the tourists can cause.
Yes.
Okay.
So the hotel production and washing of utensils, etc., will happen on the ground. It will only be the serving part which will happen on water, because you want to be able to segregate our waste, keep it on the ground from where it can be sent into a biogas production facility or something like that.
All right, thank you very much. Please give them a big applause, sending them off the stage. So what we're doing right now is it's a program called Next Generation City Action, where we have involved 27 student teams from all around the world working with real life challenges, as we call it, together with international companies and organizations. Now, soon we're going to set the stage for a team in Kenya that actually worked on a challenge that was located in Ghana, together with also a Danish company called LE34. So without further ado, it's going to rhyme, I'm going to set the stage to where to. Please give them a big applause. Here we go.
Thank you. 500 meters is the maximum distance that water should be transported to prevent contamination. However, in developing countries, women and children walk an average round trip of 6 kilometers to access water from water collection points such as public standposts, water kiosks, and boreholes. To add to the distress, this water is often already contaminated. Accra in Ghana is a case in point. Intermittent water supply in Ghana has led to compromised water quality and limited access to clean water to residents in Accra. That is why Ghana Water Company, in liaison with LE34, are working together to develop a solution to this challenge. My name is Lisa Kamau, and alongside my partner Nurdin, we represent a team of 5 that work to develop the Where-to-O system that seeks to solve the challenge at hand. Where-to-O is a system that uses GIS technology to map each and every water collection point in Ghana. Users will access the Where-to-O system through a mobile application, where they'll be able to see the water collection points within the required distance of 500-meter radius from their location using the app's GIS technology. Users will also, at every location, users will be able to tell the water quality at each location. Ghana Water Company will utilize our app's mapping features to know the current water landscape in Ghana. They'll know the areas that need more water collection points, the areas that are more populated and hence need additional water collection points. It will help them in their planning of expansion. So for instance, if I want to collect water from Bama Hills, I'll see that the main water quality parameters such as pH, turbidity, conductivity has been met. You can see ammonia, maybe it's not very serious, but it's water that I can consume. If you're in the app and given water collection point has not met the required standards, you won't be able to select it. So for private water vendors, they can also register their water collection points in the app after verification by Ghana Water Company. by being part of the app's database, they'll enable to reach a wider audience and hence improve their visibility in earning their profits. Finally, our app is also an educative tool where we educate people on proper water handling practices at home and water management uses, how to properly use water at home. Finally, we have additional plans for our app. For instance, to bridge the digital device, we plan to incorporate a USSD code system so that you don't have to use a smartphone to access the features of our app. Instead, just by dialing a code such as *123#, you can get the features of the app. Join us in to improve the water access in Ghana and around the world. And also with our app, with the GIS mapping anywhere, with GIS mapping, this app can be adapted anywhere around the world. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Give a big applause to Where2O. Yeah, we have Chiara here.
I have a question regarding how do you collect the data? So because in the GIS you don't always have all the data related to water. So how do you supply the knowledge regarding the quality of water, and so how do you collect those data and who is collecting it, and how you make sure that your GIS information are correct? Do you know what I mean?
Thank you. That's a very good question. We've already left the Ghana Water Company. We've taken the water collection points with the coordinates. So it's just about inputting them in the GIS, and then we input it in our app. So we'll be the one collecting it from the utility companies. Yes, they already have the information, yes.
Jay?
Sorry, you didn't mention a lot of how this platform will be financed. How will it be financed? If you can just share a little bit.
Okay, how will it be financed? Okay, yeah, we have a couple of ways to sustain the app. There'll be in-app purchases. The consumers, the private vendors, they'll be able to advertise their products. Also through downloads. Also, we might need finance so that we can educate and sensitize the masses through campaigns on how to use the app. And also, they don't need a smartphone to access it. They also need just any type of phone. Also, through the app, you can include your family members so that when one person accesses, then you can know the whole family is accessing it.
All right. Final remark, Maxwell?
Maybe a little remark. You are focusing on the quality of water, but you also mentioned that the water supply is intermittent.
Yes.
So it will be a good thing to include when there is water at a particular point. You understand, in addition to the quality that you are giving.
We've developed the actual app, and it has a lot of features, including if it is open, if the water quality is okay. There are reviews from other users who've used the water source, so that before you go, you can check. Also for regular users, in case you've been using a certain water source and it has not met the standards for that particular time, you'll be alerted so that you cannot access it.
Okay, all right.
All right, thanks a lot. Please give a big applause to Where2O. And congrats in only 4 weeks also developing a first version of the app to illustrate the solution. So now we go forward to the next team that has been working on the same challenge, which is from Denmark and called SafeSip. Please give them a warm applause. Welcome to the stage.
Yeah, great. You ready? Yeah.
Everything good? Hello, we are SafeSip and we are turning data into action. Throughout Ghana, there's a lot of issues regarding the water quality and especially gathering data within the system, assessing where the issues are and how to locate them and how to solve these issues. And in a lot of ways, the users are not a part of the solutions. And that is basically because some sensors are too expensive to have out in the households. So we have developed this engineering system that I will explain about, which is consisting of 3 parts. We have an endpoint sensor app, and we have a Ghana Water Company Limited website, and we have the end user. So I will briefly go through these different apps. So first we have the user app, where we can see the user can take a picture and they will take a picture of a water bottle with the contaminated water, and then they will take a picture, and then they will send that picture, and then they will assess what is wrong with the water, and then that will get into the database. Furthermore, they have this hygiene manual where they can see some basic knowledge about how to treat the water, and finally they have this map where they can see the nearest sensor point. So this sensor is located at the end point where they are picking up the water, and they can see what is the pH level, when has the water come, how much of it is there, and so on. Finally, they have this alert where the Ghana Water Company, they will send messages through SMS to the end user, for example, saying there's typhoid in water, be careful, or make sure to boil the water, and stuff like that. Yeah. So we also have the website here. So we have a map over Ghana, and we can see where the different data has come in. We can see the pH level from the sensors, and we can see the pictures from the user. We have data up here where we can locate all of the data that has come in, assess the issues, analyze a couple of different issues, and when you have gathered all this data together, you can alert the citizens, where you can come up with saying, hey, this is the issue, and then that is being sent out to the end user through an SMS. It's important to state that all of this, it can be done both online and offline. So yeah, people without internet access, they have an opportunity to get the message as well. And I will give the mic to Sunya.
So SafeSip contribute to the UN goals number 6, 3, 4 by providing sustainable water management and also ensuring health and well-being of the population. And our vision is to empower end users to become data-driven regardless of their location or their capability. Next slide, please. And the next one. Yeah, and we're seeking like 7,000 Danish krones to initiate our first stage of our implementation plan by further improving our prototype and like initiating our pilot plan. Together, let's change the water supply in Ghana for the brighter future. We're SafeSip. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much. And on the second presentation. All right. Oh, no worries. So I'll give the mic to the panel here. Yeah. Jay?
So in the app, you have you say put dirty water. I wouldn't measure dirty water. I would measure possibly clean water, because I think that's the concern people have. So it's quite misleading. But saying that on it, I think it would be good as an update if the picture you send can have its own intelligence in the background that would tell a person straight away from the color that there is a concern. Otherwise, it's not going to be helpful.
Definitely, sir. That's one of the points that we have for future needs, that we have some kind of similar pictures that shows that people can measure with the pH level that water looks like that, and the turbidity and the solid materials that would be. Yeah, that's one of the points.
Doing some AI in the future. Yeah. We're going to do that.
Maxwell?
So you mentioned that the app can work offline as well. How would that work?
So through SMSs, it's gonna work. So they just need internet to download the app. Besides that, it's gonna be whole offline app. The hygiene manual is gonna be work offline because it's embedded into the app. And if they wanted to send the pictures, it's gonna be through SMS. They can send it later through the SMS also, but they can send it through the app. For the app, they need internet, but it's possible to send through the SMS. Yes.
Yeah, Nanda Kumar, final question.
Yeah, let me play the devil's advocate here. I think the app is going to convey a lot of negative information about water. From what I've picked up is that there's typhoid, there's contamination. So would it make it a little volatile that people panic, and what therefore you need to do to allay the fears of people? What will they do if they find there's a problem? You need to think of some solution to help them. Otherwise, you're just probably spreading some negative information which may cause some concern.
Yeah. So I think at the first initial stage, we need community engagement. That's why we know that the end users are the most important. That's why we developed it for the end users to have those kind of community engagement and report to the authorities that these kind of issues they are addressing. And you are right that it's gonna impact it negatively about the water, but that's what they consume in their everyday life, and that's one of the main factors is in all of our lives, the water. And if it's contaminated, then they are suffering through the diseases. So if they are reporting it, I feel that's the first stage of analysis that's starting there. And yes, future needs can impact it through the, like Sir said, with the water images that can help the community engagement even more. So I feel, yeah.
Fantastic. Thanks a lot, and great presentation. Great to see the different perspectives. So they all started with the same challenge as a starting point, but really translating this into very different solutions and ideas bringing forward here. Okay, we're going to go to the next team that has also worked on the challenge targeting the situation in Ghana. And I would like to welcome our team from India. Please give them a huge applause coming up on this stage here.
Hello, afternoon. Today we stand before you as the engineering students from India, driven by the shared vision of water secure and inclusive city in Ghana. It is evident that inadequate supply and poor water quality issues can threaten the health and well-being of our people. So imagine a future where in the households, in our beloved city, everyone is drinking safe and secure water. Imagine a future where the data tracking technology can be used to track and address the water quality issues, to solve the water quality issues. So it is just not a dream. It is a tangible reality that we can achieve together. So in our solution, you can see that reality. So for the engineering aspects, my partners can explain you the engineering aspects of our solution.
So we will achieve this by installing the tracking device at certain locations that would be connected to the IoT network, and they would be sensing the quality of water sent through those pipelines and would be giving the data in the network, and there we would be processing and generating the reports, and it would help us and assist the human intelligence with the help of artificial intelligence to take the preventive measures. And for more, I would like to call Harjot.
So for feedback and report generating, we are going to use modern solutions. But with a modern solution, we are saying that modern problems require modern solutions. But we don't believe in that. We believe all problems require modern solutions. Because right now, today, as we sit, we are surrounded by technology everywhere. But when I studied Ghana, especially Accra City, we found that not everyone is equipped with smartphones. There are people still using featured phones. But that should not stop them from getting adequate and drinkable water. So we thought we will run a machine learning algorithm with USSD codes. That's right. We're going to bridge the gap of 30 years of technology by generating reports on the basis of these parameters and more on USSD codes for the ones who can use the feature phones. But for the ones who can use the smartphones, we're going to run a very simple and online application. So these two streams meet at the cloud with the third stream of hardware sensors. This is how it looks, not too fancy. But why would we need this? Why do we need this? We need it to interpret the input. The machine learning algorithm can understand the sentiments, what the user wanted to say about the experience of water. Also, we can analyze the water on the basis of daily, weekly, and monthly reports. The Ghana Water Company Limited or any government can use these reports to understand the certain region. Has the condition gone better or worse by understanding the reports from past and future? Why do we need this? We need to make, the government can better understand the user experience by using these algorithms and this hardware system. Thank you so much.
All right, please give them a big applause. Thank you very much. On-time presentation and some interesting prototyping happening there. I will give the mic to the panel now. Any questions, feedback, clarity? Maxwell?
So where is this hardware going to be installed?
So we will install it on the locations where like every neighborhood, you can say. So we could track the quality of water every neighborhood is receiving, and we will generate a report and send to the company.
And how does the consumer actually access this data? Because it appears the focus is on the utility.
Yeah.
So that they will be able to better serve the consumers.
Yeah.
But if we are talking inclusivity, how do we get this data to the consumer?
So the first mode is the reports generated by the reports published by the company, and the second one is they would have the app where they could monitor the water quality they are receiving currently.
So there's an app. There's an app version of it.
Yeah.
There's a mobile app.
Yeah, but we have not developed the full-fledged version.
Okay.
It's just
a concept. That's fine.
So,
Jay, yeah?
Maybe it's a difficult question. Are you all monitoring drinking water quality, or are you all monitoring other water quality?
So we are monitoring the system, how water is being transferred from the treatment systems to the consumers. So we're tracking that if they are transferring the drinking water, is it satisfying the parameters for that? So we're analyzing the supply of water, that where the water lies in that.
Okay.
A final remark, Chiara?
But that preconditions that you have a transport system of water, because as I understand, there is, in many places in Ghana, there is not the water supply. So how would you...
So these algorithms are actually deployed, these hardwares are deployed into reservoirs. So we're also trying to understand the uses of those reservoirs, and then after, maybe after a year, the data we have enough data to understand the region. So we can then suggest that how new layouts can be laid so that that reservoir can also supply the regions that are far apart from the area.
And I will just add more in that. So they are also giving the live location tracking. So when the tanker is coming to your home, you could also track in app that what is the water quality in that tanker. So you can decide either I want to take this water or not to take.
All right, I think we will be closing now in respect of the others. Please give a big hand also for the team from India working on the Ghana Challenge here. And while we love to bring the international perspectives, we are also very happy to have a student team from Ghana that got the opportunity to work with this challenge on focusing on inclusive access to water in Ghana. So please welcome them on stage, the H2O heroes.
Thank you. Water, we all agree, is a basic necessity of life, and we all agree that water is life. However, the quality of the water that we use is very important, and therefore that is what actually makes water life. For our challenge, we are supposed to help come up with something or a device that is able to help us create or get data with regards to quality of water in Ghana, specifically in low urban communities. For our challenge, we have tried to put up a conceptual framework of the problem. And so for the first point, we have from the network, which is Ghana Water Company as the sole provider of water in Ghana. It goes through to private household connections. We have the public standpipes, and then we have those who deal with illegal connection, those who are illegally connected to the networks. We are not interested in the illegal connection for now, but then from the household and then the pipe stands. From the household, we have households that fetch water actually from outside their compound and then uses it within. The main challenge also focuses on the public standpipes, where people go out to fetch water from outside and then they carry the water into their houses. Through this, sometimes you have hands falling into the water, the wind blowing dust into the water, and sometimes even droppings from animals passing through the skies. At that level, from there at the household again, people store water in barrels, which mostly are not covered. So you have them putting a container inside to fetch. Through this, they are also able to contaminate the water. And then we have the trucks that also transmit water and are also able to contaminate the water. So with our intervention, we are looking at coming up with a sensor device where we are able to track the water from the inlet point. So with this, we have the device connected at the meter point where the water gets into contact with the sensor and then move into the meter attached for reading by Ghana Water Company. The sensing system, we are considering a pH sensor, a conductivity, turbidity, dissolved oxygen. At the microbiology point, we're considering that, but then we looked at the fact that for microbiology, we need to have a culture to be able to develop that. That is because for microbiology, in Africa, one of the common diseases has to do with cholera, which means taking of fecal matter through water consumption. So we have a model that's So this is our device, and then this is the interface for the device where it shows the readings of the various components. So when it is contaminated, it changes from blue to red. And then also we have the faucet idea where you put a faucet at the end of the tap at the household level to give you the information. There's an LCD screen to display the water quality and then use color for that purpose too. So this is the interface of the app or the dashboard, which is going to serve as a cloud server for Ghana Water to access the data and also for households who are also interested. This is our team. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Please give them a huge applause for a nice presentation.
Thank you.
All right, we'll give the mic to the jury panel. Nanda Kumar.
Very detailed segmentation and analysis of the problem. I'm sensing there will be a lot of cost involved in these sensors and the kind of sophistication you're bringing in. Have you thought about where this will get funded? Will the government have the money, or is there some international money that has to be taken?
Thank you very much for the question. So for this, we are actually planning on discussing the financial aspects further with Ghana Water, LE34, and other NGOs within Ghana that are into WASH to see how far they can help support develop this. Currently, there is a project ongoing between Ghana Health Service and then global communities which are into health. And one of the things, the project is termed WASH Fit. And one of the things they are looking forward to is being able to measure water quality at the health facilities. So I think if we are able to have this, then it's something they can benefit from. So I think we can collaborate with multiple stakeholders to get this financed.
Yeah, Jay?
So this is a general recommendation to all the teams. There's a difference between surveillance and monitoring. You know, surveillance aligns a lot with public health agencies. Monitoring aligns a lot with water companies. So when you're designing the product, just see what purpose you're designing it for, because that the output is very key to who you're servicing.
Yes, please. Thank you for the recommendation.
Good reflection. Yes, Philip, last.
A reflection and maybe also a question. You talked about illegal connections. Of course, you cannot monitor that or surveil them. But could you motivate the community to actually start using the legal instead by having this system, this app? Is it a way of motivating community also?
Yes, please. So as part of our design, we actually have a poster that is supposed to communicate and then educate the people on the importance of having quality water and knowing the quality of the water. And knowing our Ghanaian community so well, if they agree that we agree that we all need to use quality water. Once this is implemented, nobody would be interested in going for illegal connected water. Thank you.
That was a great closing remark. Please give them a huge applause for the presentation. I'd like to welcome our first student team, which is from Korea. Please give them a big applause.
So this one is like this one. Okay. Hello everyone, we are Team KAIST and we are excited to present you our solution to Challenge 6. So first of all, let me ask you this question. Do you have any idea on how much water is wasted through leakages? Actually, a single household wastes up to 25,000 liters of water a year, which accounts for 13% of overall water consumption. And did you know that your toilet actually contributes the most to this issue? According to the EPA, a single toilet leak can waste 4 times more water than a faucet leak and 24 times more water than a shower head leak. So, learning all of this, we kept asking, why does this keep happening? What is the reason for this huge water waste? So the answer is people's behavior. They simply don't notice this happening. So actually our survey confirmed that if they did notice, they would act on it. So what is missing is their prompt, the trigger of their behavior. That is why we are proud to show you our prototype, the Vibraloo, vibration-based toilet leakage detection system. Let's talk about it in more details. First of all, we need you to understand that toilet leakages happen when water from the tank keeps entering the bowl silently, even when the toilet is not flushed. And if you take a closer look, water enters the tank through the supply pipe. That is exactly where our device will be attached. Basically, our device is a sensor that is firmly and easily attached to the supply pipe and detects the vibration of the supply pipe. And when it detects the abnormal pattern of the vibration, it means there is a leakage. And in that case, it will notify the user about the leakage. So just to help you to understand how much water can be saved using our device, let's consider an example, Bella Center, where we are right now. Considering that it has been roughly 2 minutes since we started our presentation, and that 8% of toilets leak in general, astonishing 20 liters of water leaked away while I've been speaking. And now consider an hour, a day, a week, how much water is wasted every day. We believe that Vibraloo can stop this and bring numerous benefits to different clients. Water conservation, automation, and affordability and user-friendliness can bring benefits of water conservation to everyone, from large buildings to small households. We are Team KAIST, and we believe that with Vibraloo, we can make a difference and bring water justice for all. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right, let's see, we have the mic here. Chiara?
Well, I wonder if, why nobody thought about that before? Do you think that there is already similar technologies have you thought about what is out there already?
Yeah, thank you for this question. We're very glad you asked. So there are already existing devices to detect toilet leakages, but the problem with them, in our opinion, is the fact that you have to disassemble the supply pipe, disassemble the toilet pipes, and just install it in it is very hard to install. Our device is attach it to the supply pipe, which is very easy to install and also very affordable.
And also when we did interview with our university facility team, they just do regular inspection twice a week for all toilet. But because we are doing real-time based solution, I think we can save more water and more money instantly.
All right, Maxwell?
So there are situations where the supply line is not always visible for you to attach the device. How is the solution going to deploy it in such case? That is one. The second question is, how is the communication like? I see you've connected a cable to it, but is it going to be wireless? How is it going to be communicated?
Thank you for your question. And we've actually talked about the toilets that will where is the tank is kind of mounted in the wall, right? In that case, our device can be installed at the construction stage. Yeah, during construction, when the toilet is being installed, the device can be already placed there. And regarding the communication, I think.
So regarding the communication, from now on we're using the wire to connect this device to connect to the computer, but actually this device has a function that can connect to Wi-Fi and then send a signal to the control center. Yes, true, wireless.
Yeah. A final remark from Nanda Kumar?
Just a suggestion. You're bringing in a technology which doesn't exist today, and you're saying there is some advantage that you... At the end of the day, you're still giving only information. You're not preventing a leak, you're just detecting it and reporting it. Maybe you will collect a lot of data in the days to come, and you could use some AI, ML and predict and help the companies to reduce leakages from your data.
Thank you for your advice.
All right, well, give a huge applause to the team from Korea, and I mean, congrats also on your prototype that you brought with you here, which is great to see. I mean, successful in 3.5 weeks only, so congrats on that, yeah. All right, so from Korea, we are gonna go to Kenya, to H2All. Please also give them a huge applause and welcome them on the stage.
Right. So, I'd like to ask you, are you aware of how much water you consume in a day? Now, the average South African citizen consumes about 237 liters in a day, compared to a global average of around 173 liters. Now, this puts it at around 2 times the global average. And yet, even as day zero, the day when the city of Cape Town would run out of water, most citizens were still not aware of their wasteful and excessive consumption habits. And so, as H2All, we have developed a water information and management system that aims to provide real, personalized, and relevant information to the consumer in order to nudge them into changing their behavior for betterment. And so we aim to do this by filling the information gap and the provision of facts, tips, and statistics to the consumer in a very easy-to-consume format through the use of a web and mobile application. On top of this, we aim to provide personalized water system monitoring, and this is done through smart meters and low-flow devices, and also water footprint calculations where you can calculate your water consumption. And so, what makes our app, our target market is everyone. We intend to make this app as inclusive as possible through our freemium business model, where we can make the access to information at no cost at all to everyone. And on top of that, we're targeting middle to high income households through access to discounted smart meters and low flow devices. And so what makes our app different, you may ask? First of all, we will give you access to a community of people and households with similar profiles as yours. With this, you can have access to a benchmarking feature where you can compare your consumption to another household, and you can get a better picture of what your habits are. On top of this, we are going to give you a very vivid and clear visual representation through the use of graphics and infographics, so you can monitor your habits and get a clear picture of what it is. And lastly, we have system flow identification. Through the use of smart meters, you will have the chance to monitor your system and get a very clear picture of what it is like. And so where are we right now? We have developed a prototype for our system, and now we are looking for investors in order to fully develop this product into completion. And further, we are looking for partners such as the Water Research Commission, local governments and authorities, and also social change organizations that will help to push this product further into deployment and also improve its uptake in the market. And now, I would like to request the audience. We have a scan here for our prototype where you can have access to our already developed product. Have a go at it, and you can see what the product is all about. My name is Dave Nguyai, and this is Barry Mwindi and Hana Wanzao. Together with other teammates such as Dan Lagat and Arif Mohammed, we developed this product, and we thank you for your time. And I would like to welcome any questions.
Please give a big applause. A great presentation. All right, reflections, comments. It's on, Nana Kumar, yes?
So, I caught something about water footprint of individuals. Did I get it right? Who do you think would pay for the app, and how do you incentivize people to download and use the app? What's the revenue model that you're looking at?
Okay, our main target for the premium model of the application is the high-end users of water and the high-income households in South Africa. And the way we are going to promote this is through social media ad campaigns, partnering with water bottling and distribution companies, and also in our free section of the app, we have an education section where we show you the benefits of using smart meters and also subscribing to a free version of the application. That's how we plan on incentivizing people to use the app.
And we also will be connecting them to local suppliers of these devices and giving them discounts once they do in-app purchases.
And so just to touch on the revenue model that we anticipate, we have what we call an ADC kind of approach. So we have in-app advertising, and this is through a cross-marketing approach, where we can advertise and suppliers can also advertise in a cross-marketing kind of format. Also, we anticipate that app downloads would be a way to generate revenue for this model, since we are approaching it as a web and mobile application. And lastly, we anticipate that through the partnership with smart meters and low-flow device suppliers, we can have a commission or a cut from this, and that can also be a revenue stream for us. Thank you.
Maxwell?
Okay. My question is on you mentioned that you'll be benchmarking households. What is the implication on data protection laws in, say, Kenya, for example?
So that's actually quite a gray area at the moment, and we aim to give the user full consent. We will not take your data without your consent. So the consumer will have to consent to actually using the platform, and to key in your water footprint, such as your the number of taps, the number of garden taps, the number of kitchen, bathrooms, or even the laundry loads that you have. And so ultimately, the user will have to consent to it, but we don't anticipate to sell or manipulate this data in any way.
Chiara, short
question. It's just regarding as I understand, is it that they need to buy the device beyond the app? They also need to buy the device to collect the data, no? As I
yes,
understand. Okay.
The device is what actually tracks the water consumption of the household.
Exactly.
But we are partnering with companies that provide these devices and offering a platform.
It was just a clarification, not because...
Okay.
All right, thanks a lot. Great pitch, great Q&A. Please give a big hand. And we'll quickly move forward to our last team from India. We have 2 teams left, but please give the stage and a huge applause to our team in India, working also on the case targeting South Africa.
Thank you. We are Team Water Salakar from India. We have been working on behavior change for water justice, and our challenge was how might we change people's behavior to reduce water consumption and improve water security. So for that, we have thought about the questions that have you ever considered that there is a time when there will be no water in the taps, and also do you know that water is a finite resource rather than a abundant and freely accessible commodity. So for that, we identified the existing challenges that are being faced in the developing nations. So for that, we thought that water being consumed by the higher income group is more as compared to other sections of the society. And also it has been found that the 23% of the daily water supply is being consumed by the 5% of the higher income group in case of Delhi. So for that, we thought that information visualization is one of the most important things that will make the people aware how the behavior can be changed. So for that, we have developed an app called Drop Count, and the main aim of our Drop Count app is to educate and make people aware about the water saving and also about to know how the water is being consumed on a real-time basis. So for that, we have developed an app, and in which we have majorly 3 main segments: water consumption, water usage, and gamification features. So in the water consumption, the user can know the real-time consumption pattern, as well as can compare with the other household, similar type of household, and also with the seasonal variations, how the water consumption is varying. And there are other features in the app, such as the awards that the user can get if he or she is watching the videos. So and also we have the incentives in our app, and also we have also taken care of the universal design features. And for this, we have a roadmap where we have identified few of our partners, and it will be completed within an year. So, and also we are trying to develop the device which can integrate our app features into it. So, and it will have an impact of around 50% water saving. So that's our thing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. Now we'll give the opportunity for the panel to give a few remarks or questions, reflections. Yeah, Maxwell.
You seem to focus on the top 5%, is it high income earners, but I didn't quite see how the system you've developed is going to target those specific groups.
So we have targeted high income groups, and we are assuming that there will be a smart meter connected to every household to this sector, and that smart meter will transfer the data into the cloud, and from that cloud the data will be transferred to their app through many push notifications and other things.
All right, any other comments, reflections? Nanda Kumar?
This is a common observation for the teams in this group, I mean even the last team, that there is a big assumption here that people want to save water and they will pay to save water. So that's something you may need to validate, because somewhere the revenue will come from somebody who's making a surplus. Now, if the water utility is going to sell less water, they will make less money. So where is the source of the revenue? Something you have to figure out. Even the previous team talked about advertisements and the revenue coming from. But first, people have to download and use the app. The more the users are, the more the advertisers will come.
Yeah.
So fundamentally, why will people download and use the app has to be.
Okay, sense of water is a finite resource, so we have to say how to conserve the water thing. And regarding the revenue generation, we have the gamification features where the private companies will showcase their new technologies and products. That will be our revenue generation model.
Yeah, Chiara, final remark.
What about replicability in other contexts? Have
Sorry?
you thought about replicability in other contexts, or bringing it, leapfrogging it somewhere else?
Yeah.
And consider that the context is very different. And Denmark, there are already some of this type. So what is the novelty of your?
So right now we are focusing on the consolidated data of a particular household. In future, we are also trying to develop a sensor which will be attached to every fixtures of the household, from where we can gather the data that how much water has been used in the bathroom or in the kitchen area, and there user can identify that okay, I am using this much water in this particular section and I have to change my behavior.
One another thing I would like to add here in Zishan answer, which is you were talking about novelty. So we are actually measuring that water consumption at a neighborhood level as well, so that kind of peer pressure at a community level can be measured, so that people at a community level can be sensitized by themselves. So yeah, this is the kind of peer novelty we are trying to cover.
Thanks a lot. Please give the team from India a huge applause. Thank you very much. And last but certainly not least in our row of many presentations, we're having 13 teams presenting now. We have the final team here, that's from South Africa. I'll give the mic to, yes, all right. And you have the clicker, all right, then I will go off the stage. And time is yours, yes, the right, yeah.
Can I start? Thank you. Good afternoon. We are the Sustainalists from South Africa, addressing behavioral change for water justice. Water scarcity. Go back. Okay.
You have it here. It's Canva. Sorry, it's in a link here. Until the final presentation, right? Everything is going smooth here. So it's a link here. How do I go there? Hvis jeg skal trykke det der link. Kontrol. So 27 presentations today, 14 startups, and then we have the first link. That is a challenge here. There it is. So of course we're not counting the minutes now, don't worry. Accept all the cookies. And then we go back. All right, so please give a warm welcome, some energy in the room.
Thank you. Good afternoon once again. We are the Sustainalists from South Africa, addressing behavioral change for water justice. Water scarcity and inadequate water management have become alarming issues in eThekwini municipality. The region faces a water crisis due to population growth, climate change, and aging infrastructure, leading to water rationing and intermittent water supply in many communities around the municipality, which not only impacts daily life, but also contributes to significant water losses through leaks and burst pipes. Now, imagine a community that takes agency towards solving challenges, where all citizens are not only equipped with the knowledge and the tools to conserve water, but are the drivers of change. Come with me as we look at and imagine a WhatsApp chatbot and one-stop shop and an innovative solution that looks at integrating water management and water-shedding app all in one. An educational tool that also provides tools and tips for water management and hosts behavioral change campaigns and competitions. By leveraging the power of WhatsApp, the most widely used platform used in the community, we bring water management directly to the fingertips of every household. I bring to you Amanzi Ethu, which responds to major areas of the SDGs. Firstly, by encouraging inclusivity. Secondly, by inspiring resilient communities for effective resource management and adaptability in challenging circumstances. Thirdly, Amanzi Ethu drives partnerships for change by inducing collaboration between universities, civil society, public and private stakeholders as the choice for social investment. And this is where we also call you to action. Let us endorse and nourish Amanzi Ethu to inspire unity, collaborative action, and a sense of personal responsibility, leaving no one behind for water justice. Thank you.
All right. Great presentation on the second. So now I'll give the mic to the jury. Chiara.
So very nice presentation, but it was to me unclear what was the solution. So is it an app, or is it what the solution is, like the practical solution?
Sure. So our solution is an interactive WhatsApp chatbot, which we've named to personalize Amanzi Ethu, which means our water, bringing a sense of personal responsibility towards driving the app. This app has also been co-designed with the community through a short survey, which they've indicated certain items they'd like to see or be realized within the solution.
So they will be able to, it's like citizen science enabling, or what? Is it something like this? So you enable people to collect data on the system?
Yes.
On their community. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we got Philip.
Very interesting. And yes, and that one I noticed the leak detection. Can you enlighten us on how to, well, what is the incentives for registered a leak on this system?
Sure. So within this holistic solution, we're encouraging people to report leaks. So wherever you are, you can take a picture and drop it on the WhatsApp chatbot. You can also drop your location to where the leak is so that the municipality can respond swiftly towards the leak. And then in terms of incentivizing, we are also structuring a rewards program, which is tied to, for example, in South Africa, we have Pick and Pay points. We have Spar, which is a grocery shopping outlet, and we want to tie those points to those big store chains so that the community can easily redeem those points through shopping vouchers or able to buy key shopping items.
Just to add on to why the solution came about is annual reports released by the eThekwini municipality showed that Durban loses 40% of its water due to leakages. Now, obviously that creates a problem, and that's non-revenue water. So how we go about this, we are saying that, okay, why not give the power to the people through using an app that is easily accessible, that is cheap, that is already existing, and whereby everyone is using it. Now, what this enables you to do is, if you were to see a leak, for example, besides the many other functions it can do, is that you take a picture and then you send it through the WhatsApp bot, and through that, a response team is then sent to the location, and therefore accelerating whether it's repairs or maintenance that needs to be done.
All right, and with those words, please give them a huge applause. Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, we don't want to lose the energy now. That was basically the 3 sessions that we had today. We've had 27 student teams and 14 startups up on the stage today presenting their perspectives and ideas on how we can create a sustainable future leaving no one behind. We're literally also going to close the Congress venue today because we are in a moment going to announce the winners and celebrate all the teams here on stage until 5 o'clock sharp, where we're probably kindly told to leave the venue. But I hope that you're going to stay tuned. In 15 minutes, we're going to have announcements of the winners here. Who are the national winners, who did the best pitch, who is winning the full scholarships to go to Bogota, Colombia, to the P4G summit in September. As you may have noticed, we are already serving drinks behind, so I would encourage that you are already now going and taking a drink, a soda or a beer. At the same time, we're going to have the jury condensing their scores so that we can quickly announce the winners. But before we close the session, can we please also give a huge applause to the panel? Thanks a lot. And I hope to see you in 15 minutes with a soda or a beer in your hand to celebrate all the teams on the stage here. Thanks a lot.